Greetings, wonderful humans, King of Games Champion J.W. Alistar, here with another Midnight Occult Civil Service review. This time, episodes 4 through 6. The last 2 days, I had some wonderful date times with my fiance, who was back from college, and I decided to spend those 2 days enjoying her vacation with her, instead of recording videos. So now that she is back in college, and I am a lonely boy again, I'm here doing more anime reviews, so here we go. We start off with the good old hot boy Kohaku in some hot-ass clothes. This fucker has to be gay as fuck. He has to be, or I will be very offended. He at least has to be bi. This dude is sitting there. I mean, okay, I can't really accurately describe this outfit, but he looks like a yaoi character. And I want this to just go full yaoi. I feel like it has to, with how they're setting this up, but maybe I'm too much of a yaoi fanboy and I'm seeing shit that's not there just because the dude's well-dressed. Anyway, but Kohaku's also dumb as fuck. He's super stupid. He's top tier level of big bad dumb. Arata essentially gives him like every possible hint in the universe that he isn't the same Seme as the Seme he knows, and he's a descendant of him, or at least a different fashion or something. He's not the same dude as the dude that he knows that was named Seme. Arata and Seme are not exactly the same person. Probably. And, basically, Kohaku just is really stupid and didn't get that, and just thought he just felt like reminiscing about old times, and just thought that he had a bad memory. Which, I mean, is possible. I'm kinda thinking, with the way they're doing this might be like a fucking Sailor Moon situation. Like, Seme is gonna be the Princess Serena to freaking, Usagi. Like, I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna be in some fashion where, Arata's just like a reincarnation of Seme or something. I mean, he's already a descendant or something. But with how hard they're hammering home in Random and Others calling him Seme, I feel like he might be more than just, a relative of Seme. I feel like he might just be a full-blown reincarnation. I feel like that might be where they're going with this. I don't know yet. But, Arata's asking about old times, and, he talks about being with, Seme and stuff. He mostly just talks about how Seme would ask him questions about the universe, and he just straight up is like, yeah, dude, Earth's round, stars, stuff you're not supposed to know yet for this time period. And Arata's like, no, don't tell him that. Why'd you tell him that stuff? She's not supposed to know that in that time period. And, then he's late for work, and he's like, oh, shit, I'm late for work! So then Arata runs off to work. He's talking with his coworkers about it, and they're all kinda, they're a little iffy, because, obviously, Kohaku is literally a god of calamity, but he's kinda just floating around being a doofus, so they're kinda like, well, I guess we don't gotta worry about him too much, and then Arata calls him a neat, so, they're kinda like, well, god of calamity, but he's not doing much, and, like, if he starts doing stuff, what are we really gonna do? Like, they've just accepted the fact that they can't really do anything about him, and they're just hoping he stays, being a good boy, like he's been lately. We see, some scenes of Kohaku playing with the cat, which is cute. You get a hot boy playing with a cat. It fills my heart with all the joy in the world. There's apparently just a bunch of another that are just like chilling around that they gotta check up on. They're really kind of hammering home that vast majority of the time, this investigation team can't really do much shit about shit. They're just like, they're not very successful at doing a lot of stuff. They just kind of like walk in and they're like, "Welp, can you knock it off? No? Okay." Because, like, they couldn't even talk to these guys before Arata came in. So before Arata came in, they were probably just fucking useless. But they're going around, and they're checking on some another that are just chilling and hanging out, that apparently just always hang out, and they just check on them merely. They check up on people that are apparently called shoujo, which are just these big, drunk gorilla people. Which are basically just like middle-aged, grumpy Japanese men who are grumpy alcoholics that just also happen to be gorillas. Besides the fact that they're gorillas, they're not, there's nothing especially special about them besides that they are gorillas. And they drink heavily. They try to get Kohaku to drink with them because they're excited, because he could actually talk to him, and he's like a celebrity amongst the another now, because everyone's talking about him, because they're like, "Hey, there's this human dude that can talk to us." And, you know, it's spreading around like a rumor, so he's popular, and they're like, "Hey, drink with us!" And, you know, he almost gets pressured into it, but then Theo and Glasses do drag him away, because he's on the job. He can't really drink. And they're worried that they were trying to, like, poison him or soften him up, like maybe they gotta get people drunk before they can eat them, or something stupid like that. There was, oh, I forgot about that, and this is why I need to take notes. I totally forgot. There was just some random fucking English dude just there. In case you forgot, episode 1, they mentioned this is just this huge epicenter for different cultures to meet up, and they gotta shoehorn in that idea by having random English dudes speaking awkward English while he's signing unimportant paperwork. He doesn't add anything to the episode. He's just there to remind you, hey, there's lots of cultures here. I'm still waiting for I've watched 6 episodes, so I've watched these 6 episodes and I'm still waiting for the time where, this being this cultural epicenter of all of these cultures, I'm waiting for that to actually make the plot better or something. Because so far, it's just a thing. So far, it's just once in a while they have some random dude who's not Japanese show up and go, "Hey, I'm not Japanese. Just so you know." Like, it hasn't been important so far. It hasn't made the plot better. It's just a random detail. It's not funny, or it doesn't make it more entertaining. They just keep shoehorning in stuff to make you remember that. I'm guessing sometime later that's just gonna be this big plot point. I hope. Otherwise, why even write that in the show? Why even write that in the setting? Because so far, it is literally such an irrelevant detail in the lore of the series that they gotta keep shoehorning in things to remind you of it. Glasses dude, they allude to more family problems that they might develop on later, which we'll see when I get there in my notes. We'll see later. By, 5 and 6, the next episodes, they develop this further on. So we get more foreshadowing of family problems and sister problems and all that jazz, and more dark stuff going on with Glasses dude. And I know now, because I'm at episode 6, they keep developing that, so that's exciting. And there's a perverted... They go check on this another. They go check on an additional another in a room. Just waltzes into the apartment, he opens the door, he strolls on into the room, he looks over, and lo and behold, there is a naked man with red hair rustling a bowl of beans at him. Just for no fucking reason. And then Arata just gets spooked and bails. Just a freaking naked dude rustling beans. Just rustling a bowl of beans. He wasn't eating them. He's just going... I got my beans. That's the extent this dude did. He didn't even talk. I don't even think he had a name, but it was really funny. I think they just wanted an excuse to draw an actual full-on naked man in the show, so that's why they had naked bean rustling dude. But either way, I dig it. I can get behind some more naked bean rustling. But then after that, I got excited because all of a sudden I saw big horn ogre looking dude with some horns, red skin, big, with a club. I got excited because guess what? It's Oni time. They talked about an Oni, the episode before last episode, they talked about this Oni that was gonna break free, and I saw this Oni looking dude, and I'm like, boy, it's time. They made us think this was gonna be a chill episode, but no. All hell is about to break loose because here comes this big, beefy, big boy trucking. No, it's not an Oni. I got excited for nothing. It's not the Oni that the girl's hair was keeping at bay. It's not. I was disappointed. It's freaking just a it's not an Oni. They keep checking on dudes. They check on a gold owl and a nude plant lady. BoJack Horseman, a talking veteran hyena that tells them, "Hey, behind you. It's an Oni." And they're like, "Oh, an Oni!" But it's not an Oni. It's his name, I wrote down, is Kyo Gongen. So Gongen. It's Gongen. It's the god of a shrine nearby. And more importantly, it's someone that's not as exciting as an Oni. So I was disappointed. I thought we're gonna have this epic battle where I'm like, oh geez, how are these guys gonna fight an Oni? This is gonna be awesome. The show's gonna get way darker. It's gonna get serious, but no, it's just an Oni. He just kidnapped this dude, and it turns out we have some fairies that are like hovering around this area that are hyping up the shrine god dude, and they tell him like, hey, the ears of sand dude's here, and then he's like, it must be Seme, and Arata's like, oh my god, I'm not Seme. And so then Gongen's like, hey, what you here for, my dude? And then he's like, hey, you see that police officer you just kidnapped? By the way, there's a police officer. I don't remember if I mentioned that. He's been around this episode doing stuff. He's not that important besides the fact that he's kidnapped. And he's like, hey, that police officer dude, can you like give him back? And then, you know, the freaking Gongen dude is just like, what? No. And, you know, he's like, come on, you just give him back, dude. And or you don't like kill him or anything. And then Gongen's like, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna throw a big old festival. It's gonna be great. Me and this dude right here, this police officer dude, me and him, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna drink and have this festival for 100 years, just drinking and partying. And then Arata's like, that kills people. Like, this man's like 40. He's gonna die. People can't drink 100 years. I don't even think he can live on a steady diet of Soylent and water for 100 years. And that's killing him. That is holding a man in captivity at this shoddy-looking temple for 100 years. That's kind of worse. And then he's like, well, I don't want to give him up. And Arata's like, well, can you just give him? You're basically killing him. And then the freaking Gorgon dude's like, oh, so you want to fight about it? And then Arata's like, shit, I can't fight this dude. I didn't plan for this. I didn't think this through. I just thought he would hand him over and be nice about it. And then Theo's like, dude, why are you making this a big, beefy boy fight us? And then, out of nowhere, Kohaku just shows up like, hey, bitches, I'm hot. By the way, how about we have a drinking contest to settle this? And then Arata's like, that's stupid. And then Kaku's like, it's that or you fight the big beefy boy. And you're a scrawny twink and you ain't beating a big beefy boy. And then Arata's like, shit, you right. And Theo's like, shit, you right. And Glasses Dude's like, I don't want to be here. And so then they have this drinking contest. It's Theo and Glasses Dude and Rada. And for some reason, Kohaku's just floating around there laughing at him. I don't know why. And it's those three against Big Gorgon Dude. Gongan, I keep calling him Gorgon, Gongan dude, and they're in a drinking contest. It's going well, sort of, but, over time, because this is a big, beefy boy, he could drink a lot more than 3 puny humans, so, Theo he just falls over. He's done. Theo is a lightweight, and, so then, Rada's like, shit, Kohaku, help us, and Kohaku's like, that wouldn't be fair. And then, Gongan's just like, nah, it's kind of fair. I'm a big beefy boy. I just get help, dude. Just get all the help you can get. Honestly, I'll probably still win. This is really unfair advantage. You should probably call for help. And then, freaking Glasses Dude's like, yeah, Arata, go run. Go grab for help. I'll hold him off. And then you just sit there with the two of them drinking for a while, and Arata's running around, but he can't escape because, the stairs in Mario 64, where if you don't have enough stars, you just run up the stairs forever and never get anywhere. Well, that's what's happening now, because Arata's running out of the temple, but no matter how far he runs, he never actually gets very far from the temple, because he's, tethered to the place. And, he's getting tired. Frickin' Glasses Dude, he just passes out, because he can't outdrink a big, beefy boy. He can't outdrink all that bulk, so he falls over. And then, all of a sudden, Arata notices, he's like, hey, there's the drunk gorilla people from before. Yo, drunk gorilla people from before. Help me out. And for some reason, Kohaku, even though he totally has permission to just sneak in here and win the drinking contest for him, he just doesn't. But it doesn't matter. Arata comes in, guns a-blazing, with his army of drunk gorilla people. And they just, crash the party. They start drinking. Gongan Dude's a little miffed about it, but eventually he's like, screw it. These guys can drink with me for 100 years anyway. These guys probably can't. Who cares? Arata and Glasses Dude grab Theo and the police officer that I forgot existed, and they just bail, and that's the episode. Yeah. Just the whole episode. It was just super okay. This is just, the most okay episode possible. It wasn't great. It was just a story. Nothing was really bad. It was just okay. It just wasn't crazy interesting. It was fun, but I kinda considered dropping the show after this episode, not because it was bad, but it's just because watching this episode, I really felt like this is all the show is. And I kinda knew that going into the first episode, but I really felt like, okay, maybe we're not going to get any more interesting things out of the show. Maybe it's just gonna be a fun show. I was starting to think, maybe it would be a little more, and I was hoping it'd be a little more, but it's just gonna be kind of a stupid fun show, maybe something you turn on when your buddies are over, and you're only half paying attention, something like that. But, thankfully, some little tidbits in the next 2 episodes, they don't make it, like, a masterpiece, but they make it more interesting, because, again, I was kind of bored by this episode. It was fun, but it wasn't as fun as other shows I can watch instead of this. And I like the hot boys in it. There's some hot guys in it, but that can only carry a show for so long. Because I can also just watch Free. Again, I can just rewatch Free or Sekaiichi Hatsukoi, and those have hot guys in it, and those shows are more fun. I can watch Black Butler, which is stupid, but it's fun, and it has hot boys in it. And it's more fun than this show's been so far. So, I was a little worried, but then we get into episode number 5. And, it's about a parallel world elevator. It's an elevator. Some dudes on Reddit were like, yo, I walked up this elevator, bro, and then I was somewhere else, bro. Oh, shit. And then he stopped posting, and no one knows where he went. And, so they're like, yeah, gotta investigate it. And the boss dude's like, we don't have permission to investigate it. Hey, cop buddy, get us permission to investigate. And cop buddy's like, okay. And they just get permission to do it. We didn't even really need that scene of them getting permission to do it. We could just assume they could do it, because it didn't seem like it was hard to get them permission to do it. But, some people lose memories, apparently, from the elevator shit. They just end up in a different world, and they kind of lose memories from it. We see Glasses Dude with some random girl named Aoi, Japanese name, that he used to know from when he was a host, and he's a little weirded out, because she just broke up, her fucking fiancé that was gonna marry her just randomly broke up with her. And she doesn't seem too broken up about it anymore. Just all of a sudden, she's just kind of like, eh. Like, it's not like she totally forgot about it, but it's like she lost any emotional attachment to the fact that, any emotional response that you should normally have if your fiance breaks up with you was just gone. She was just indifferent to it. And he's like, that's kinda weird. So, so they're like, yeah, let's investigate this elevator. It probably stole her feelings or whatever to that. So they go investigate the elevator, and Theo's like, hey, I'm going up this one. And the other two are like, hey, we're going in this other elevator. And then, freaking Glasses Dude and Arata, they end up in this parallel world. And it's just clouds. It's just red sky and clouds. It looks boring. The only way it could have been more boring is if it was just a black void. I feel like if you're gonna make a parallel world, do something crazy with it. Like, come on, man. It could have been more interesting than just clouds and red. At least make it a funky color than red. Make it like purple or something. Come on. But, make it purple. But, there's some priest girl there, and she's like, hey, give it to me. And then Arata's like, nope! And he's pressing the elevator button on panic mode, trying to get out. And Glasses like, what's that crazy looking priestess girl with a cube is coming towards us, muttering something. What are they saying? And he's like, and Glasses like, what's happening? And Arata's like, she's not saying anything good. And, basically, oh shit, and basically then, she's just there to steal emotions and shit, and, she realizes that Arata can understand what she's saying, so she's like, oh, this guy could understand what I'm saying, that's cool. And, she wanted something from him, but basically they don't have it, so she's like, dang it. I thought Glasses Dude had something that I needed. Well, I don't need him, and Arata can talk to me. He must be pretty cool, so I'm gonna keep Arata over here. She starts dragging Arata, and she's like, well, I don't need Glasses Dude, so, bye, bitch. And then she just vanishes. Freaking Glasses Dude from the universe. It's a whole elevator, all of his existence, just it's gone. He's sent back to the actual real world, though. He's not, like, dead or anything. And, So then her and Arata are talking, and basically, she's got this cube. It's Pandora's box. She has Pandora's box, she opened it, whole bunch of negative voodoo emotions came out, and she's trying to get them back. So she's in Japan because she wants to acquire the feeling of a broken heart. She wants to acquire the feeling of a lost love to put it back in the cube. And then she's like, yeah, after this, I'm gonna go over to Europe and I'm gonna get the feeling of jealousy from a bunch of people. So that's weird, and her and Arata talk about it. And basically Arata's like, shit, I'm talking to this person, and they're not listening. Because Arata's sitting there and he's like, hey, can you stop stealing people's feelings? A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people kinda are using this elevator to get to a place, and they don't want to get to Cloud Cuckoo Land. And she's like, fuck them. And Arata's like, but that's rude. That's inconveniencing other people. And Priestess Girl's just like, but they ain't me. But Priestess Girl's Pandora, by the way. They say it at the end of the episode. Her name's Pandora, and it's Pandora's box. It was super obvious. But so he's like, well, shit. And at this point in the show, it's like the big realization moment where Arata finally realizes, because his teammates this whole show have been telling him, hey, just because you can understand what they're saying and talk to them doesn't mean it's always going to go well, okay? These creatures, not all of them are like people. A lot of them are ruthless and disturbing. And if you think you can just treat them like talking to a normal person, you're wrong. You're going to run into some, and it's gonna it's gonna be disaster. And he's finally in that situation where talking's not gonna work. And he's sitting there, and he's like, this is the worst. It's finally that situation. And then he just leaves. That was kinda anticlimactic. They built this up as being the big, earth-shattering moment where Arata finally realizes he can't just talk to every single another and just go his way. He finally realized, oh no, this can actually genuinely go bad, and I have no way to defend myself against this thing. And then the person's like, yeah, I can leave, cool. Actually, no, here. You know what? I like you. In fact, anytime you want to come back to this dimension ever, you get a free pass to come here. We good? Yeah, have a good day. And, so, it just ends. They don't solve anything. Some random girl from a different elevator shows up there. She steals her feelings of, lost love, and she's like, yeah, my cube's good. I'm gonna head to Europe now. Bye, ski. And, yeah, they can't do anything about it. And the episode ends. And we get a little bit more foreshadowing of, Glasses Dude and his feeling of loss, because the reason that they popped up in the elevator is because he had a strong feeling of loss. It wasn't quite lost love, but it was a great feeling of loss, and it was similar. And Pandora's just zapping random people who feel great loss, hoping it's a great lost love. And he had a great loss of, family love. And it's, more foreshadowing about the sister stuff. And, episode ends, and then we get to Episode 6. Episode 5, it was more interesting than Episode 4. It definitely got me more interested to see 6 because we got more foreshadowing of more character development and stuff to come. But the anticlimax, I felt hurt a lot because it's just I don't feel like there's really any stakes to these negotiations half the time, because it's okay, well, none of these guys can really fight or do anything, so it feels like they're just gonna, I haven't felt any legitimate stakes at all in the show, except during the zombie thing, and then that was kinda just, any stakes this show has is just solved by stupid shit, like Arata going, oh, here's this pet name I randomly remember for this calamity god, and that made him happy, so he's just erasing all trouble we're in. Or, this person doesn't empathize with humans at all, and they're gonna keep doing what they're doing no matter what I say. So I'm just gonna leave. I can't do anything about it. Like, there's not a lot of stakes in this show yet. At all. Like, even a little bit. But, so we go into episode 6, and at this point I'm like, please get better, please get better. I feel like you're close to being a better show than you are. And I feel like you're just not taking that step. So we start episode 6. There's a cool, creepy looking dude. He kinda looks like a Walmart brand Kaiki from the Monogatari series. Like, think of, like, if you haven't seen or read Monogatari, Google Kaiki from Monogatari. This dude looks like a shaggier, like, Great Value brand Kaiki. And, he's carrying some dead-ass woman. He's just carrying her and talking to some green dude, and he's like, hey, my love for this woman is so strong. And, you know, the green dude's like, are you sure it doesn't suck being married to a human when you're, like, not a human? And he's like, I will prove to you how strong my love for her is, even though she is human. And, then we see Arata losing video games to the, one plain girl. The plain-looking girl from an earlier episode. Her name's written in these notes somewhere, but the plain-looking girl from earlier episodes that we saw one time, he lost video games to her, and she's like, hey, you're not as good now that you're actually a productive member of society. And he's like, yeah, that happens. But I'm gonna beat you, and then he doesn't. And then she's like, hey, yo, wanna go out on a date to the festival? And he's like, yeah, cool, friend. And so they agree to go on a platonic date to the festival that's coming up. And then Kohaku, he's sitting there looking at her like, she can work for something. And basically, then we go back to Creepy Dude, and Creepy Dude, it turns out he's like Build-A-Bear workshop and a wife back together using random other people parts. And basically Kohaku's like, hey, I think I found you another person. There's this plain-looking girl. I think you can use her to finish your little Build-A-Wife project over here. And he's like, really? And he's like, yeah. Basically, some of the people that were kidnapped are showing up now. He released them. He doesn't need them anymore. Creepy Dude's like, hey, I got what I needed from you, so here you go. And they go talk to one of them. But she was from, like, the 60s or something when she was kidnapped. She's a teenager, and she's still a teenager. So while they're kidnapped, they're taken to, like, this black, ashy void. They really hammer in the fact that it's a black, ashy void. See, and this was weird and unexpected, because when I first, you know, saw the woman and that they were kidnapping girls and stuff, I thought that they were, like, lobbing off body parts and, like, sewing them back together to make a Build-A-Bear wife, which was weird. I was thinking, like, his wife died and he was, like, taking out her brain and putting it in a new body made out of, like, other girl parts that were similar looking to her original body. But it turns out they're not stealing the actual body parts. They're just stealing the functions of those body parts. And this girl, they interview her, it's weird, blah, 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 blah. And she tries to sing, and she can't sing. And we learn that he stole her ability to sing to give to his wife. So it's like, I guess his wife's dead. And that's a guess. I don't know yet, but I'm guessing she's dead. And he's just stealing all the functions that she lost from dying and putting it back into her, and that's somehow going to make her alive again. So, like, her legs don't work anymore, so he's getting her new leg functions. And they talk about another girl who was kidnapped that they found, and she has both her legs, but one doesn't work. Which is interesting. So they're stealing the functions of different body parts, and each girl they kidnap, they steal a function of that body part and then let her loose. So that way he can have a fully functional wife again. And we keep seeing Glasses Dude like, clearly uncomfortable, and they're clearly implying that he has some personal connection to this, and seeing that the only emotional thing we know about Glasses Dude is something happened to his sister. That's the only relevant detail we know about him, is that he's a man whore, and he had some weird, bad stuff happen to his sister. So obviously this has to have something to do with his sister. And, basically, we finally learn about it. They finally actually talk more about the sister thing, and it turns out that Creepy Dude was the one that kidnapped his sister as part of his build-a-wife scheme. And the Black Ash stuff was important because when he heard the girl who can't sing anymore talk about how she was kidnapped, she mentioned, she's like, I don't remember much, but all I remember is I was surrounded by black ash and stuck in this black ashy void for a long, long time. And when Glasses Dude saw his sister get kidnapped, he saw her get shrouded in black ash. And a lot of the victims said the same thing, so they're like, oh boy, this is the same guy. So he tells Arata, hey, my sister got kidnapped by this dude. I've been trying to figure out who this dude is forever. It looks like this dude is the same dude that's behind all these kidnappings of the victims we just found. Also, your freaking boyfriend, Kohaku, he mentioned that he has a friend of a friend of a friend who likes to kidnap girls. A demon who likes to kidnap girls. And in that episode, they actually did have Glasses Dude mention this is going to get him closer to finding his sister. So, we learn all these are connected, it's the same dude, and basically Glasses Dude is like, hey, I think the friend that your boyfriend mentioned is the demon dude who's been stealing all these girls and stole my sister, so can you set up a thing for me to talk to him? I'm not gonna negotiate, I just want to talk to him. And Arata's like, I guess. And then we fast forward, and all of a sudden, Arata, he can't find Kohaku. He's looking, he can't find him anywhere. But the strain of this is really affecting Arata a lot, because unlike Glasses Dude, who's been used to this knowledge and has been doing this for years, Arata he doesn't have a good work face. He can't just forget personal stuff and just work like nothing's going on. The fact that he's trying to help Glasses Dude talk to Kohaku so he can find out about stuff about his missing, possibly dead sister is weighing on him. And it's obvious, and Theo knows something's going on, but Glasses Dude doesn't want to tell Theo. But nothing happens, he still can't find Kohaku, so the festival date happens, and, we just get a really, really quick montage of, like, still images of Plain Girl and Arata having their date, and then, lo and behold, she gets jacked! Because she's running. We see Arata go back, and she's like, hey, get me a drink that's not carbonated, and he's like, groovy, I got your back, Jack, and he runs to get her tea or something, and all of a sudden, we know what's gonna happen. We know where this is going. If you were watching this, before you watched this video, you watched the scene, I guarantee it, and you knew what was happening. You saw her running away, and you saw them separate, and you're like, oh boy. She's getting jacked, isn't she? And then you see the black ass surround her, and you're like, oh boy, it's happening. She's getting jacked. And then you see Creepy Dude go up, and he's like, yeah, boy, I'm jacking her. And then he jacks her. And then, Arata's like, no! And, then we go to, like, Theo and Glasses Dude, and, basically, they're arguing because all of a sudden, Theo's like, dude, I know something's up. What's up? Arata's late. He's never late. I know something's up. What's going on? And Glasses Dude eventually breaks down and tells him, I'm using Arata to help me talk to Calamity God McGee. And then Theo's like, just punches him in the face, and he punches dude's glasses off. And I popped for that moment. That was kind of cool. And he just punches him in the face and is like, no, we do not talk to them. We do not negotiate with frickin' gods of calamity. That's obviously stupid. Obviously, you trying to form a dialogue with someone who is literally a god of mischief is gonna go stupid. You're stupid. And then they get a call on the phone, and it's Arata, and he's like, they got jacked. She got jacked. This is bad. And they got jacked by the same person that jacked your sister. The Black Ash is the same. And basically with him calling Glasses Dude to tell him how his platonic childhood friend just got kidnapped the same way his sister got kidnapped, it ends up also accidentally leaking to Theo that his sister was kidnapped by another, which Theo just wasn't ever told. And then Arata is just pissed. He is screaming because he knows Kohaku did it. He knows there's no coincidence that this girl was kidnapped. He knows Kohaku spilled the beans to Creepy Dude and sold his freaking childhood friend to Creepy Dude. So he's screaming. He's like, Kohaku, I know you're here. I know you did this. You show yourself. And then Kohaku's like, hey. And he's looking fabulous. And then the episode ends. It ends. Finally. A good fucking episode. This episode was good. I was invested. I give a shit. And I really want to see the next episode. There's only been 2 episodes out of the 6 that I've actually been left wanting to watch the next episode, and this is one of them. So it's like, the one episode with the hair and the Oni and stuff, that I was excited because they were hyping up Oni and zombies for the next episode, so I was excited about that. But then that episode happened, and it was a disappointment. And then the next episode happened, it was a disappointment. And then the next episode happened, and it was better. And then this episode happened, and it was cool, and I'm excited again because it means next episode might be good. But a lot of the show so far has kind of been just an okay show that's kind of stupid, but it's kind of fun and enjoyable. But it keeps hinting and implying it's gonna get better, and instead of getting better, it just gives us another just okay or good episode. It keeps making me think it's going to be more than just an okay show, and then it just keeps giving me more okay, middle ground, C- shit. So, I'm hoping the next episode's gonna make this is gonna be the thing that makes this go from a C- to a C+, or maybe even a B-, maybe, but I think that is unrealistic. I don't think, I know the show's not gonna be great, but it's feeling like this show is going to get a lot more enjoyable over time. It keeps having potential to do that, and if it takes, 10 or 12 episodes of a meh show for it to get really good and interesting, I'm fine with that. I watched One Piece. One Piece doesn't get actually good until 24 episodes, and it doesn't actually get great until 100. It doesn't, it doesn't get super good until 100. 200 episodes in, and it doesn't get amazing until 300, 400. So if I could watch One Piece and have the commitment of getting through a lot of and okay stuff to get to the great stuff, I could handle this show being a meh for some gems, as long as I get those gems. And I know the gems in this show aren't going to be as good as the gems in One Piece. I know that I'm not expecting that, but I am hoping the show improves a bit, because I see the potential there. If they just can capitalize on the shit they build up from a previous episode. But maybe I'm hoping too much for a goofy show with hot guys in it. But that's my thought on all the episodes so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once I'm caught up on the show now, so once episode 7 comes out, I'm going to definitely watch it and give my commentary on that. I was considering dropping the show. I was very, very, very close to dropping the show. But I kept going because I at least wanted to catch up for this video. And episode 6 was interesting enough to where now I really want to watch the next episode. So if the next episode is really good and I still care, then I might keep going for this whole series. But if the next episode just sucks again, if we just get another episode and it just sucks, then I might be dropping this show. Thank you, wonderful humans, for watching this video. If you could please subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment telling me how wonderful I am. Follow me on Twitter at FlashyJWEvans. And as always, this has been Hell and High Tales, and I am one of your lovely co-hosts, King of Games Champion, JW Alistar, telling you to have a dandy day.